Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. And continuing on in marriage, I want to talk about the purposes of marriage. God has a purpose for everything He does. We don't always know what the purpose is, we don't always understand the purpose, but He always has a purpose. He doesn't do anything without a purpose. And marriage is no exception. If you go to Genesis chapter 2, you will see that God says, "It is not good for man to be alone." So what God does is He sets all the animals in front of Adam, and Adam names them. But He doesn't see anything that's suitable for him. He sees all the animals have their mates, but he has nothing. Now, while it has been said that dog is man's best friend, that relationship can only go so far. And I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about certain aspects of a marriage that you can't get in any other relationship. I mean, even Adam had God to talk to. God was there walking with him in the garden, the Bible tells us. But even that relationship had certain limits. And marriage was designed to give Adam that fulfillment in a special relationship that you can't get anywhere else. You can have really close friends. You can be real close with your parents and your siblings. And I know today family has continually been redefined. At this point, it seems like family is just those who love you. But that was not God's design or intention for marriage and family. God's intention for marriage was to establish that intimacy that you can't get anywhere else. And it only comes from one other person. And that was the whole idea of marriage, to build and fulfill that intimacy that was needed. So God said, "I will make a helper suitable for him." Someone to help him. And yes, this applies to women too. The woman wasn't just an accessory to man. They are to be one. And there's a desire in all of us to have that intimacy. Whether you're a man or a woman, we want that intimacy that you can't get anywhere else. And that includes sex. And I've already discussed God's design for sex. One man, one woman for life. That is His plan. But another reason for marriage, and I kind of touched on it already, is to establish family. It's to get a family unit so there's stability in relationships and within households. And studies have shown when the family unit is strong in a country, that country thrives. When the marriages and families start to break apart, that country starts to break apart too. It has happened throughout the years, and it's happening in America. Our country is very divided because we don't know how to build that type of stability and have that camaraderie that is supposed to be founded in the family. It's supposed to be built up and taught to the children and children's children and so forth. Marriage also teaches us how to compromise, how to live for another person, how to be less selfish, how to love someone else when we couldn't love anybody else that way. God had a whole lot of ideas. I don't know all of them, and I don't have the time to discuss all of them. But when it comes to God and His design, you know it's good, you know it's perfect. The problem is we are not. So when our families fall apart, it's not God's fault, it's our fault. And everybody has a part to play. And I will talk about that eventually, but I just wanted to focus on God's purpose for marriage. And He designed it to be what it is. The problem is we don't handle it the way it's supposed to be. And until we figure out God's way, the family and marriage will not be what it should be. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.